Yeah. Cold shit. I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room and pop, 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 like you got rejected. Yeah. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in a tenant truck, riding around your block. Busy man. I get a word, he ain't this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Brothers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't tripping on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options, used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Kick the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with it. Me at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snake, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse the imposter. Shit get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Shit that hate, make it to the featherweights. Niggas claim they hard, but they sweeter than a dedication. Hold on, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a step and a ruler. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripes, no brick baby. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gun shy. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Nigga swear he the go, bring him to the bush. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Kid the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. Be at the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody.
Yeah. I'm from Philly, you get hot, you catch a cold case. I'm one West, these brothers trying to set my soul straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon, and I'm locked in this shit and I ain't leaving. Never. Ski mask transform the war mode like I'm Voltron. Stamp on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting charged up like they phone died.
Red letter, drip clean, it looks so fly. Claim he riding, that's why I left his ass roadside. He gon' die. Skyscraper to a nosedive. 9mm plus P, fuck a 4-5. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Kick the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with it. Be at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody.
I will wait.
Dirty Bird.
Buck roll. Wait on.
Not no more. It's shocking.
I will wait.
Yeah. I've been feeling how I'm feeling like. Fuck how niggas feeling, I've been waiting my turn. Walking through the pits of hell, still feeling the burn. At 3 in the morning when I'm tossing the turner. Shorty gripping me tight, tell me it'll be alright. I'm gripping the pistol, having visions of death. Yea, though I walk through the valley of death. I'm in the alley with the scully on tilt. I'm ready to pull this homie, conflicted in heart. Spent too much time in the midst of the dark. I'm itching in this truth just to play my part. On a Saturday in the depths of the dark, where the zombies walk. Times Square, let the scriptures bark. And the generals talk. Fishing for that young man or the princess he called before the reapers involved. Show your chariots, Lord, dead in the middle of their war. Let your trumpets blow, revelation reveal. Let the sky crack wide, show the color of Christ. Let me watch the descent before I enter my chamber. Allow me to enter the chamber. See the truth is amazing. Hoping, wishing, and praying. I earn my place in the kingdom. Plant my feet on the pavement. Put my brick in them chasing for the crown of this promise. For that crown of this promise.
Right. Sure
144.
Sure is. We wait for instructions and orders in these truths, man. Wise man once told me seek counsel. Never rely on your own understanding. It's not. ISUPK, the heart different. Black on black boots ain't forces to walk different. Muscle energy, the 1,000 to spark different. And learned about the scriptures from generals taught different. Game bread pit with grip, the bark different. Priests and officers, we captains to talk different. Prophesy to the wind, and I endure to the end. Strap these niggas rock Christ, and ain't nothing to him, but check it. In your city, we them niggas on the corner. And all black changed men that put away the former. We militant, disciplined as niggas that's in order. We shield swinging off our neck and fringes on the borders. Born rugged in these streets, learned the cools and the politics. And I ain't wait for the Lord, he got me out of it. Hood nigga, hard knock alumni with scholarship. Big Glock was up on my hip, up in them colleges. And you ain't saved if you a Christian and you waiting on it. Heaven not by observation, go and take that moment. Cause your faith is in your work while you debating on it. I'm enduring to the end, this Glock ain't got no safety on it.
Sure don't. Can't wait till the Most High come and open these skies up and let Yahweh come down here and bomb these motherfuckers. Bomb on all these heathens. Their time is up.
I can't wait, though I feel conflicted. Mind shifted to the point I gotta check my spirit. Eyes lifted to the hills like Yahweh there. So potent, so strong, just feel it in the air. If we don't hearken, as poor judgment would disappear. He's all seeing, all knowing, you don't want to visit. Whether short wave or long range, his name is vivid. We can't run, can't hide, he'll come and get us. There's no test, no rest in this war business. I'm on the corner with my brothers and my garment on. Mic in my hand, chanting white man's the devil song. Provoking spirit in my people to get our gather on. Shots fired at hellfire, we get our Bible on. Wanna eat, find the menu in Leviticus. Learn to walk, talk scriptures here, this is how to fish. Hit the ground, running hard. We staying on our jaw, cause Babylon is falling. Like the song that we made for y'all. We live and die for this shit. There's no plan B. We the Lord's sheep. The Lord's chosen would never flee. If it's not for the Most High, we would never be.
Never be. Stand the fuck up. Or sit the fuck down. Either you winning or you losing. Somebody telling the truth and somebody telling a lie. Who telling a lie? Wake the fuck up. Keep it moving, keep it pushing. Know better, do better. Dirty bird. You heard?
Fuck what them bitches gotta say. I'm a woman West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a love fuck what them niggas gotta say. I'm a woman West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's the Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm reeling them in, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm stamped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad at this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, put through the baddest conditions. I'm fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like Batman, niggas. She know I'm a prophet, she glad to be listening. Disrespect, I ain't having that shit. Tell her go make some business from scratch. She bitchin' the different breed of black men. We don't do the bad thing. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight. Like, don't forget about my face. We sticking up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Those bitches on rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we sold you. You can take that to the bank, we focus. How many times must we remind you? One body, one way, some records will never take up as a face. When the law with your ain't no up next, it's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world. I responded and called back. Oh Lord. And everything that they stole from us, fuck that shit, we want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come under command and general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. They tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine, that's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. That's why we unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with
fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better have the women, have the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't butt the system. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in the with me. In the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Fucking Hispanic, Native American, Indian. We ain't just talking shit, but we living in it. We be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be precious hell, take a picture. And we special now with the scriptures. Play, we gon' script them, yeah, we some killers. These niggas tripping, they mind blown. Swear business, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't get it pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide on. The slide that I know about is when I assemble the group with the slide. For real, I get the order, you know that it's slaughter. See me and my niggas gon' die for kill. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up by me cause I'm fed up. I rep UPK. My niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got nines, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like bitch or whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come under command and general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. Understand me? Like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Hey. That's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. Oh. You boy, you know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my niggas, yeah. I'm in yo. Got my nigga Ramon with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under command in general, yeah. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, the shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation. foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Yeah.
Okay,
I've been in my Bible lately. You understand me? Like, shit crazy out here.
World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world.
You know,
The world said fuck us,
Matthew 24:13.
so we said fuck the world.
He that shoot us to the end
The world said fuck us,
shall be
so we
saved.
said fuck the world.
Fuck the world.
The world don't love us,
No.
so we said fuck the world.
Look, I know your kinfolk gone, but hold on. I know them lights ain't on, but hold on. Look, even if you feel you got nothing to hold on, I got a message. God said, hold on to your sanity. I know you in a position that you ain't planned to be. With our lives, we're not addicted to gambling. You feel the pressure and the thoughts in your head are scrambling. You feel the storm getting closer. You feel like giving up before you even start, then it's over. You feeling like fuck it, you going through too much to be sober. Life is passing you by as you do this over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over. Time to make a change now. Instead of that, you fall a victim to the same now. Starting to find out that this life is not a game now. Back against the wall, couldn't run as the poor man screamed to the top of his lungs.
World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world.
For real, look. Cover your eyes, don't wanna see the blood on the leaves. Bodies of eyes innocently hanging from trees, floating in screens, blood in the water, blood on the altar. Still don't believe justice is coming. Heavenly Father, did not Christ say vengeance is mine? Don't even bother. When he return, it's gonna be slaughter. Ooh, I know you don't wanna face it, but what's real love sound like hatred. And you gotta be fucking crazy if you think they gonna get away with killing all them babies, feeding them to alligators. All the women that was raped, the transatlantic slave trade made us build a nation that we can't partake in. School to prison, pipeline, mass incarceration. All the lives that's been taken, hated to love it. You only talk about forgiveness cause we never get justice. I think you really reluctant. I remember hearing a hood nigga say all the shit he would've done if he was living during slavery. Look what's going on today, and you ain't doing a damn thing but putting shame on your ancestors' name. But who's to blame? All these drugs, pills, weed, beans, lean, and cocaine. I get the feeling that we living in a big dope game.
The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world.
Seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they on down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Tell me we don't live in hell. My brother doing 55 in that cell.
Nigga claiming he your round here spit shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the stand and tell. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your kids like my kids, treat you like a brother. I told my dog, let's leave the streets to serve the Most High. He said, fuck that shit, he trying to sell another pie. His daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, set him on fire. His wife was pregnant, he ain't never get to see his child. Had me thinking to myself, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on their side. Got in the ISUPK, they keep asking me why. As I do the work of the Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray alive. I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
You ever pump a pack with a snake by your side? Yes, I see a man reach out to God before he died. Yes, I did. I know the Lord forgive us for these sins, but I'm starting to think the kingdom of heaven is for these kids. I told my daughter, there's one man in your bed, I won't stand for less. For my son, I hit your head on that fragile ass. I lost some niggas to that dope, I lost niggas to the feds. Remember Jono tried to stick me for that cheese on that bread, yeah, I was thugging with Lucky and that nigga left me for dead. Endured to the end cause I listened to what was said. Mother told me she loved me when she was sick up in the bed. I was running them streets but the truth made me a man. Shit I don't really speak cause she'll never understand. That's why I ain't even tell her about these voices in my head. I'm still trying to manage my anger like Uncle Craig. I
seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my houses. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we can all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember YAHANNA's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. There was designed fire for our babies to pass through, and the day of our king's reign not be over.
Shalom, Israel. With our ISUPK coming out of 1 West Harlem, New York, 125th Street, under Command of General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we've been bringing out the truth that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of Israel per the Bible. I'm your priest and officer, Yashala, holding down today's Jersey City class, right? Now, today, I'm going to do class a little differently. I'm going to do it like my show, Boots on the Ground. I'm going to bring out some articles. I'm going to match it up with scriptures. And we're going to set the class off like that. And then I'm going to get into my topic for the evening, right? Because today's topic is going to be evil spirits. So we're going to be talking about demons and evil spirits and how they can affect people in the truth and in the world. If you don't know, I'm going to instruct you and show you how to spot a demon and how to combat it. Because when people in the world have a demon on them, for one, they don't know it's a demon. Two, once you tell them it's a demon, they don't know how to properly process and acknowledge what you just said to them. Three, even if they were able to process and acknowledge what you just explained to them, they don't know the first thing to do to combat it because they're still in the world, meaning they're still doing things that please their flesh. They still do stuff that they want to do and not what they're told to do. Because unlike you know, an unruly child, when it comes to these laws, statutes, and commandments, we're unruly children to the Most High because we don't do what He tells us to do. He tells us don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. He tells us don't smoke, nothing. Cigarettes, vapes, weed, Black and Miles, any of that. Smoke nothing. You understand? So we do what we want to do, and then we wonder why we end up in the predicaments that we in. We wonder why we end up with lung cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, all types of pancreatic cancer. You understand? Like, and then we sit there and want to curse God and blame God instead of take accountability for us messing up a body that doesn't even belong to us because it belongs to the Most High God. You understand? For starters, this consider your body when you're born as a starter kit, right? Like you get a startup kit, and as you grow, the startup kit grows into a more mature model. You get what I'm saying? You get a baby body, and you get your spirit in you, and then you have life. As you grow older, you're still in the world, so you're considered walking dead, right? Until you hearken into the voice of the Lord God and answer the call, and then the word of life gets breathed into you by giving you the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. That's how you become alive from walking dead in the world, pleasing your flesh, walking around in a high state like a mummy or in a drunken state. You understand? Once you get the breath of life breathed into you, meaning the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord God, that's how you become awakened. You understand? And if your spirit allows you to answer the call, the goal is to fight. Because in the book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 3, it says, the Lord God is a man of war. The Lord is his name. You understand? And we're talking about Christ. We're talking about the Most High God. Like, he is a man of war. The Most High God is about that action. That's why your life is about fighting. Fighting demons, fighting the world, fighting oppression, fighting against enemies, fighting. Your life is about fighting. 90% of the time, you're fighting yourself. when you're sitting there smoking weed, getting high, smoking cigarettes, getting high, the only opponent you have is you. There's no one else there. It's just you. You the one that have to fight. Every time you get that urge to want to light a cigarette, every time you get that urge to want to roll a blunt, every time you get that urge to want to spark a black and mild or hit a vape, you understand? Or do whatever drug of choice you're used to doing being in the world. You understand? Because now what the oppressor is doing is putting it in an abundance so you can actually partake in the sin. And the scriptures say, don't partake in the sins of the world, because if you partake in the sins of the world, you will receive the punishments and the repercussions from partaking of the world's sins. And Salakia. Shout out to young man Hector in the building, always faithfully checking in. That's my guy right there. Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. It's a young man Hector. You understand? Always faithfully checking in. But yeah, even when you become in the truth and you're fighting those demons and you're fighting those urges and you're fighting your flesh, you know, and you're gaining strength in doing it and you're starting to gain momentum. The problem is it's a continuous battle. It's not just a wham bam, thank you, man. Oh, all right, I'm good now. No, because it's gonna come a time being in this truth where you're gonna be around it more, because the devil's job is to tempt you and to prove that you don't love the Most High God. You understand? And the devil is excellent at doing his goddamn job. Excellent. Nobody does his job better than him. Maybe other than the oppressor, because they were gifted with the sword. Nobody's better at unaliving blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians than the white man. You understand? Hell, nobody's better than them at killing each other. That's what they're good at. That's what they do. They will divide, conquer, and unalive before they gather, come together, and create. Because in their warped, twisted mind is a dog-eat-dog world, and every man for themselves. And that's just how they function. However, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, according to this Bible, in the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1, it says, gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we're the nation that's not desired. We're the ones that's getting oppressed. We're the ones that's getting overly taxed. We're the ones that's being stressed and oppressed to the point where we can't pay rent. We got to work 2-3 jobs and just to get by, and we're still broke because you ain't just got rent. You got kids. Oh, my bad. You got a kid with this girl, but you on child support with your first baby mama because she wanted she was young and foolish and just wanted to have a kid with you because she wanted the concept of having a kid. She didn't want you. She wanted to be in the world. That's why your kid is being raised to be a King Vaughn, because she keeps you from seeing the child, got you paying child support on top of you having and she's doing that because you have another wife. And that's what that really boils down to at the end of the day. You understand? You got your rent, you got your child support, and you got to pay your insurance, your registration for your vehicle, got to pay for gas. Gas over $3 a gallon now. You understand? I remember when gas was like 85, 90 cents, something like that, $1. I'm not that old, but I remember. Some people I know remember gas when it was 10 cents a gallon. Let's bring those days back. Yeah, right. Then you have, gas, electric, laundry. Not everybody has the blessing of having a washer and dryer handy in their house. You understand? So, and then you got groceries because, you make too much to receive food stamps or government assistance. So you're in that fine line where you get to be broke, but not broke enough to get any assistance to help smooth things over. You understand? You can't just be barely broke. You got to be povertized. You have to be extremely, utterly poverty-ridden, like damn near on the streets, living in a shelter or trying to get into a shelter just to try to get some government assistance. And then, even in those predicaments, the government don't even want to help you. That's the sad part. They are sick, sadistic and diabolical creatures. This is why the oppressor is such a strange breed of a nation. Like, because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we clean, cut, and dry. If you're good to us, we're going to be good to you. You understand? We respect you, so respect us back. If you don't, then for every action, there's a reaction. And that's just how we are as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? But when it comes to the Most High, you shape yourself for the world, right? You know, we was going over scriptures in yesterday's class, and we were talking about how children in today's society is very unruly and very disobedient, and we're not to spare the rod. You understand? Because if we do, then that means we hate our child. So, you know, we have to understand that love is correction and correction is love. If you don't love somebody enough to correct them, then you don't really love them, because that means you'll let them fall flat on their face and you'll laugh in their face before you help them up. If you see somebody doing something wrong and it could land them in jail or death, pull that brother that sits to the side and be like, nah, don't do that. And they're going to question why. And you're going to explain to them, because I see something that you don't see. See that over there? That's why. Don't do that. Oh, all right, good looking, yo. I appreciate that. You get what I'm saying? You see a young boy about to do something stupid, yoke his little ass up, pull him to the side and let him know, like, nah, little nigga, don't do that. You don't see 12 right there, bro? You're like, no, I wasn't even paying attention, OG. Good looking, I appreciate it. Nah, don't appreciate it. Be careful. You out here doing grown man stuff. You better pay attention, be aware, and beware. They not taking brothers to jail no more like that. They unaliving them. They only taking white boys to jail, and that's in mass shooting situations. I've seen cops do traffic stops on a fellow white man, and the white man hop out. Any other time, any other nation, they'll tell you stay in the car with an attitude too. They hop out. What the F are you doing? Who told you to pull me over? Hand in their face and everything. And you know what they doing? They tell them, hey, calm down, sir. I'm just trying to let you know that your tail light was busted, and that was why I stopped you. He was like, I don't give a F about my tail light. And things go left field from there. I seen the dude straight hook off on a cop in the middle of traffic. I'm talking about pop off on him, and they getting it shaking in the street, and he effing the cop up. But let that been a black man. He'd have got tased, jumped, kneed on the back, and they would have shot him. They got his arms all twisted up, talking about stop resisting. How am I resisting? You about to break my arms. Your knee on my neck. I'm on the ground. I can't breathe. How am I resisting? Come on, stop making excuses so you can unalive me. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of life in society that we live in. But all this comes from us not being obedient to the Most High God. We are like those unruly children that lack discipline and lack family structure and lack core moral values. Now, in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 1, it says, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. You understand? Honor thy mother and father. Now, this also pertains to the law, statutes, and commandments in the Most High God. The Most High God is your spiritual father. The law, statute, and commandments is your mother, your spiritual mother. These law, statutes, and commandments are to nourish you and keep you safe, like a mom would. You understand? When you suckle upon her breast to get that milk as a starving baby, that's what we call these milk scriptures. You understand? This is the milk that you suckle from in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. This is how you receive your nourishment spiritually. You understand? And a lot of people in the world don't understand that. That's why when we out there on the street corners prophesying to the wind, we break it down to the people just as so. You understand? Get these milk scriptures where it say, love one another as I loved you, that ye love one another. You understand? John 4:20. Matter of fact, let me pull it so that way we give context. So I'm not just making things up. You understand? Because we're trained to make sure. Let's see. Nope, not that one. And this is why we check to make sure. Because you might be thinking of one precept and you might be bringing up another. So, Yeah, see, I was in the right area, wrong chapter. It's the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. And now, before I read it, to give context, this is for those in the world that never heard this precept ever before a day in their life, because there's nothing new under the sun when it comes to these laws, statutes, and commandments. And this is a milk scripture for those reasons. This is the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I loved you. You understand? That ye also love one another. This is Christ. You understand? This is Christ saying this. And this is in the book of John. This is John's account of Christ saying these things, right? When he's saying, a new commandment I give unto you. This is brand new. Jot this down. Love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. He says it twice in the same precept to reiterate it, because brotherhood is one of the most important commandments next to the first one, which is fearing the Most High God, which is the beginning of wisdom. You understand, Israel? Fear the Most High God, that's the beginning of wisdom. But love one another as I loved you. That's the next one. Now that I'm in that area, let's go to... No, not that one. What I'm doing is I'm giving a little context to the class before I really get into my stories, before I get into my articles. Most High in Christ. Shalom Yahbashem Yahushua Barakathum to the Akim in the building, and Shalom Yahweh Shemar Alathem Bahashem Yahushua to the sister in the building. Most High in Christ. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God. Now, these are your Christian pastors, your regular everyday Joe Schmo or Jake in the street on the block talk about, yeah, I love God. Hold on for a second, and go sell a bag of dope to somebody's aunt. Right? This is for them. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. Because how can you say you love God and hate your brother that you see every day, but you never seen the Most High? But you say you love somebody you never seen before. Like, make it make sense. This brother living outside, you see he not mentally stable, but you make sure you when everything good, you throw him a little bag of dope, keep him high. You know what I mean? Or give him a little 50 cents so he can get a Lucy or something, or $2 so you can get him a beer and $1 worth of cigarettes. Just to keep him in a sunken place, because that's what that is. When you sitting there doing everything that destroys the body that the Lord gave you on loan. These bodies don't belong to us. You understand? When our spirit leaves this shell of a body, the body goes put into the ground or burned into ashes. But our spirit returns back to the Father for judgment. You understand? Our spirit returns back to the Father. And then that's where we got to answer for all the BS that we did down here. Y'all fail to realize that. You got to answer for everything you did, everything you said. Because it counts. Angels taking notes. They jotting this shit down. You understand? They jotting this down. Everything is being recorded. Everything you do, everything you say is being recorded. But we don't care because we busy getting lit. We busy getting right. I'm getting to the bag. All of that's nonsense. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he have seen, how can he love God whom he have not seen? Now, the last precept that I just read in 14 and 34 says, love one another as I loved you, meaning love one another as Christ loved you. He died and sacrificed himself just so y'all could get it and follow in his footsteps. He followed the law, statutes, and commandments perfect to the letter. Yet we still want to get high. We still want to unalive one another, talk about we each other's ops. We still want to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, which are the roaches of the sea. And I just did a research study. Matter of fact, when I get that clip, I'm dropping that so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Don't you know that lobster has the most highest level of mercury and what did he say? What did my man say? He said it had an extremely high count of mercury and toxins and such or whatever, because the lobster eats every bit of waste from all the fish and all the bottom of the sea, from everything in the ocean. You understand? Just like crabs. You understand? But yet y'all be sitting there spending all these dollars making it into a delicacy and blowing all this money on stuff that's not even right for you. If it has fins in the scale, it's lawful. Whiting, flounder, tilapia, real tilapia, not that fake genetically enhanced garbage. Red snapper, yellow snapper, salmon, not tuna. Salmon. Tuna not lawful. You'll find all of this in the book of Leviticus. It give you all the dietary laws of animals of the sea, of the air, and of the ground. Believe it or not, giraffe is lawful. Bison is lawful. Cow is lawful. Chicken is lawful. All that stuff is lawful. But I'm getting sidetracked. What's not lawful is hating your brother but saying you love God, because then you're a goddamn liar. That's not lawful. That's not it. You understand? If a man say I love God and hate of his brother, he's a liar. That's not me saying it. That's not a Yahshua saying it. That's the words from the Most High. This coming from the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand me? We have to learn to take accountability and be better to one another. And we have to learn how to treat one another better. Because how can you ask God for mercy for your wicked, disgusting ass, and you can't even forgive this person over here for whatever transgression they did against you in the past? How dare you ask for the Most High to give you mercy and allow you to hear this truth, but you can't forgive somebody that wronged you, somebody that harmed you, somebody that hurt you as a kid. Like, we talk about these stuff in debates and lectures because these are topics that don't get addressed properly. You understand? People that get sexually assaulted as a child. This is a very touchy topic for a lot of people in the world because it happens. And when it happens from close to home, from somebody in the home or somebody within that household structure, meaning someone in the family. You understand? A father, an uncle, a brother, a cousin. You understand? Even females in the family. Look at what happened to R. Kelly. We sit there and talk about, R. Kelly this, R. Kelly that, but nobody say nothing about that wicked, disgusting ass aunt that was sitting there basically graping him as a kid in the church, in the Catholic Church. Got him in the choir, sitting there doing him. You understand? Doing him. And I think that's part of the reason why he strayed away from dealing with older women or women around his age due to that situation happening. It traumatized him as a kid. But now he was wrong for whatever wrong he did to anybody involving that type of act. He was wrong, period. But don't sit there and try to shun him and say, why did he locked up? Because my thing is this: if they willing to overlook 90% of the stuff Diddy did, because he's not locked up for the stuff that he did. They bringing up the freak offs and all of that stuff, but they really got him locked up for like RICO type charges. They don't got him in sex trafficking, but they don't got him for all the sexual assault he did upon men and women for all these years. You understand? He's not on trial for that. He's on trial for something totally left field. That's the whole point of the matter. And if you can sit there and free Diddy, then free R. Kelly. But you know who they won't free him. You know who they free? You know, Trump just pardoned Larry Hoover, right? He just pardoned Larry Hoover and somebody else. I forgot the brother's name. Not saying that, you know, they're not equally important because they are black people. However, F that. Why you want to free Larry Hoover? He's a an extremely well-known gang affiliate serving out time for his crimes. You understand what I'm saying? As much as I don't want my Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian brothers and sisters arrested or incarcerated, if you do crime, you have to do the time. Same thing when it comes to these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. If you break the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, you're going to serve your punishment. You lucky it's not biblical times. They will plant you in the dirt like a damn tree, leave this much of you out, and chuck stones at you and beam your face, your eye, your mouth, your ears, your head until you were unalived. That's how they punished you back in the day. When you raped somebody, they stoned you. If you robbed somebody, they stoned you. You understand? If you unalived somebody, they stoned you. This is how punishment was carried out back then. You did anything wrong, they would stone you. If you didn't want to take the correction, they would stone your ass. That was the only, source of justice back in those days. You understand? So when I say that, we have to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. We have to stop being that ruly child disobeying the Most High God because we think we've grown, we think we know something, and we want to please our flesh. And at the end of the day, that brings me towards my topic, because that ain't nothing but a goddamn demon. You understand? It ain't nothing but a demon, and a demon is an evil spirit. You understand? And I'm going to get into the breakdown of demons and evil spirits. You understand why? And it's crazy how I'm talking, and it leads me right back to it. It leads me right to my topic. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God. Meaning, don't believe everything that somebody tell you. Don't believe everybody that comes to you in the flesh, because not everybody that comes to you in the flesh is going to be genuine. Not everybody that comes to you in the flesh is going to be, what's the best way to put it? They're not going to be solid enough to see your best interest at heart. In today's society, it's damn near impossible to meet somebody that's in the world and you're in the truth, and they actually give two craps about you, or they actually that solid, they cool and care about you. You know what I mean? But those are the spirits that you look for. And the ones that I'm talking about, the ones you stray away from. Like if you see that they get high, they sell drugs, they rob their own people, they unalive their own people. Those are the spirits you're supposed to stay away from. Most High in Christ. Shalom. Y'all Bashim Yahushua Barakatah, my brother from HQ. Most High in Christ. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are going out into the world. Now, see, this ties right into my, matter of fact, let me write that in my precept book. See, I love it how a plan comes together, right? Now, this precept also falls under false prophet scriptures, because being in the world, the scriptures say there will be false prophets among you. You understand? Like we're in the molten pot of today's population, right? We're in a world where we're amongst heathens, we're amongst whoremongers, and it's not just the other nations, it's our people as well. And that's the messed up part, is our people just the same. And this is why, Salakia, my bad, young man. Matter of fact, let me get everybody in the check-in. Sister Joanne, Most High in Christ. My bro Kev in the world, Most High in Christ, checking in. Appreciate you. And my bro from HQ over there in Harlem. Shout out. Know what I mean? Kayunatab. Now that's how you pronounce your name. Okay. My Hebrew getting better. But yeah, like you have to be mindful of the spirit you encounter, because you might come across an evil spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like that Christian pastor. He may sound good, you understand? But he almost like that oppressor when that scripture say his matter of fact, before I let me pull it. Let me pull it. Cause I'll be all over the scriptures. I try to be on point and make sure I'm going hitting the right ones. But yeah, man, that Christian pastor not fully a good spirit because one, he a Christian. He not trying to hear the truth. You understand? They do what they want. They please their flesh. They eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. They welcome the alphabet mafia and transformers in their church. They don't care as long as they get the bodies in there because the pastor want to make sure those so-called tithes is paid because he want a new Cadillac. And I ain't saying nothing far from the truth. It's spot on because that's what they do. They sit there and lie to our people to line their pockets. And it's sick and it's sad and it's disgusting. You understand? But this is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Now, this is usually referring to the oppressor. You understand? Because they'll sit there and soften the blood. They'll fatten you up for the kill. Because they'll sit there and tell our sisters, yeah, put him out. We'll put him on child support and you'll get paid for as long as you keep him out the house. And as an added bonus, we'll put you on government assistance. How about this? You ain't even got to pay rent. We'll give you Section 8. And we'll give you food stamps. So you ain't even got to pay for groceries. And I'll tell you what, we'll make sure that he pays for your child while he's not in the house. As long as you keep him out, we will give you all this assistance. Oh, you got a new baby on the way? No sweat. We're going to give you WIC checks. That's how they do. Their words out of their mouth are smoother than butter, but war is in their heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. That's what the Christian pastor is like when he's telling you, come on in my congregation. I welcome everybody. God love everybody. You goddamn liar. You goddamn liar. God don't love everybody. Why you lying to these people? You understand? This is why 1 John 4:1 says, beloved, believe not every spirit. Don't believe every spirit you encounter. Now, something that DMX said rings true. Trust people to be who they are. If someone steals, trust them to steal from you. If someone is a snake, trust them to bite you some way, some form of fashion if you deal with them. You understand? Trust people and believe in who they are and believe it well. Just make sure that when you come across them, you can see them well. Bars. You understand, Israel? You have to be able to discern what's real and what's fake, what's legit and what's false. See, when I talk, I'm giving you scripture and I'm giving you context and I'm breaking it down so you can understand it. I'm not telling you my opinion. I'm not telling you how I feel. F how I feel. Feelings come and go, but these scriptures is forever. People need to understand that, and y'all gonna get that work. Y'all gonna get it today. And they say, because many false prophets are going out into the world. They are out in the world. They out there and they lurking. They is definitely lurking. These false prophets is out here. Check it out. It's the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verse 1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as they shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. It's self-explanatory. That's what it's telling you. Be careful being out in that world. There's false prophets and false teachers among you. Christian pastors, Baptist pastors, deacons, deaconess. They false prophets and false teachers. Women that try to teach a congregation. But if you give them scriptures, you know what they're going to do? They're going to get in their little Fendi bag, jump in it and zip it closed and be like, ah, and be in their goddamn feelings and get on the defensive. and not take no goddamn correction like they supposed to. That's their goddamn problem. These women out here don't want to be corrected. They don't want to be told what to do. And that's because and they like a lot of our brothers out here was raised by single mothers because they chose to let the white man be their goddamn daddy over their house. But they ain't no different than the father that they put out the house because they absent. They said, kick him out. Let me be your daddy. I'm going to give you all this government assistance. I got to go. I got more people to corrupt. You understand? The word devil means adversary. So when I say the white man's the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of, they are goddamn adversary. You gotta watch for these evil spirits, man. These evil spirits is among all of us. You understand? Let's see. Luke 10 and 19. Now we're going to go into the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the powers of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Meaning, when you believe in the Most High God and he give you these laws, statutes, and commandments, and you follow them to the goddamn letter, he will give you power to tread over scorpions, serpents, and all of your enemies. White man, Chinese man, East Indian man, Arabs, all of them. Tread over all them bastards. And all you need is the faith of a mustard seed. And keep his laws. And he will give you the power. There's brothers in this truth that got power. And they ain't sought none of it. And you know what they do? They share with the people. It could be a general. You know what the general do? He moved just like a trooper. And he's willing to serve everybody else. Like that scripture that say when Christ said, let me wash your feet, right? Let me pull that. And I hope y'all writing these precepts down because I'm moving across right now. Oh, that's a whole nother list. Let's get it. It's the book of John, chapter 13, verse 8. Peter said unto him, thou shalt never wash my feet. Jesus answered him, if I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. Meaning, if you can't allow your brother to help wash your feet, then what good is brotherhood? Just because I'm who I say I am, doesn't mean I'm any less than you. You my brother. I love you. Here, let me wash your feet. And this is a spiritual conversation. This isn't a literal command, let me wash your feet. Here. No, it's basically, hey, you ain't got to go get that warrior here. Let me go help you. Let me go help you out. Let me go grab that mop for you, warrior. You ain't got to run and get it. Let me get it for you. Nah, general, you ain't got to do that. I got it. Like, nah. Hey, if Christ said, let me wash your feet, you not going to let me wash your feet? I'm like, you got it, sir. Kind out of one kind. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a spiritual thing. It's definitely a spiritual thing. And we as Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians have to understand that. And this is why we have to watch out and be mindful of evil spirits that lurk in the world. We have to love one another. We have to be brotherly and care for one another. You understand? Because it said the Most High will give us power to tread over our enemies, as well as snakes and scorpions and serpents. You understand? What you think a serpent is? A snake that'll bite you if he gets you in the right spot. You know what I'm saying? The scorpion will sting you and unalive you. You understand what I'm saying? These are dangerous creatures, and they're very small. But even the smallest creature can unalive you. We have to be mindful of this stuff. I pray y'all understand. Next, we're going to go to the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 21. I hope y'all writing these precepts down. It's the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 21. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. Meaning, don't get overcome with those demons as you're fighting those demons. I know sometimes things going to happen to you, right? Like, prime example. Now, mind you, just a month and a half ago, I just helped my mother bury her boyfriend of 20-something years, right? And then, like, a couple weeks later, I just buried my last eldest aunt. Like, she the last one. You know what I mean? 95 years old. You know what I'm saying? Long story with that, but she gone now. You know what I mean? Just bury her. And now, one of my closest cousins that's older than me, he just passed away this morning, right? You know, the scriptures say, let the dead bury the dead, but that's not going to stop you from wanting to mourn for that person or feel some type of way or feel bad for that person. You know what I mean? For them being gone, you're not going to see them on the earth no more at this point. You know what I'm saying? Or in this generation. And it's sad. But you have to not let those demons come over you. Do I mourn? Yeah. But do I mourn to the point I want to go and roll up a blunt like F it? I'm stressed. I'm about to smoke. Just in that same breath as I could say that, I could say, you know what? Let me call a brother and talk to a brother and let him know what's going on with me. Maybe he could give me some precepts or some scriptures that can help get me through this time right here so I don't do nothing foolish. You understand? You know what, young man Hector, you right about that one. You're on fire as usual. Let's see. You know what? I'll put that right in this column. Because I'm gonna get to that precept, but I'm writing it under corrupt leadership, because if a woman is in the congregation teaching the people, that's corrupt leadership right there. Damn sure is. But yeah, you know, so I don't get sidetracked. You know, you gotta overcome evil with good. People come and go on this earth all the time. You understand? People get unalived, family members pass away and such, you know. But we as Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians gotta stay strong and stay rooted and strong in this truth. You understand? So we gotta also be mindful that we got people that look up to us. We got people that look after us. I'm not in a position to show any signs of weakness. I'm not in any position to show that I'm not fighting. I got men under me that look up to me. I got men under me that look to me to be strong. They get strength from me. So how I look, me being stressed out because I just lost another family member that was close to me. How I look better like this. Go walk to the candy store, get me a beer and 2 shots, call it a day. Sit in the house, know what I mean? Drink my shot, sip on my beer, know what I mean? Probably chop it up on the phone with my sis about my cousin or whatever, you know what I mean? Talk about the good times. And that's how we get through it as Black folks. You get what I'm saying? And do it like that. Rather than me go buy a bag and a wrap and go sit to myself and let that demon F me up and I sit there and smoke and I offset 5 years of hard goddamn work that I did, cleaning that up out of my closet and inside myself. How does that look? It make me look like a weak little bitch. Let's call a spade here. I don't sugarcoat or run around the track when I teach class. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? If I got to turn around and edit something, I'll turn around and edit something. But at the end of the day, I'm not pussyfooting around here. I'm telling it like it is, because that's how people in today's society going to take it. They're not going to just take it at face value. They're going to be like, oh, he's telling the truth. He's telling it like it is. He's not biting his tongue. No, why the hell would I bite my tongue? We grown-ass adults in here. Because this ain't for children. This is why we get the law, statutes, and commandments from Christ and the Most High God. We teach it. We learn. We sharpen each other's sword as iron sharpen iron, and then we become fishers of men. We go. We fishing brothers. We fishing brothers. We teach them the law, statutes, commandments, so on and so forth, and then we go home. We teach our wives the law, statutes, and commandments, and they teach our children. That's the structure and order of life for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All them other heathen nations, I don't care. I don't give a crap. They can keep that. That's their business. But it says, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. We have to overcome evil with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. That's the only way we're going to survive in this wicked kingdom, y'all. Seriously. All right, now let me go to Young Man Hector's precept. We're going to go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 13, verse 17. He always picks a good precept, even if I never read it before. This is always a treat when Young Man Hector give me precepts. I love it. You know what I mean? It's a breath of fresh air. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 13, verse 17. Likewise, thou son of man, set thy face against the daughters of thy people, which prophesy out of their own heart, and prophesy thou against them. Let me bring that from the top. That was heavy. Likewise, thou son of man, meaning sons of Most High, sons of man, sons in the flesh. Set thy face against thy daughters of thy people. Meaning, make sure that we're properly teaching these daughters structure and order. Because if they know structure and order from childhood, when they get older, they won't be confused and think, I'm going to be a deaconess. I'm going to be a prophetess. I'm going to be an evangelist. You understand? I'm going to be a female pastor. I'm going to go teach the congregation. Because I'm going to tell you, they end up like every other Christian. We cut them to piss. And we cut them down. We show no love or sympathy, whether if you're male or female. If you're a Christian, we cut you. We cut you to the point when we get done with you, you're going to feel ashamed for trying to teach people. You don't know shit. It's just that simple. No matter how much you think you know of the Bible, you don't know shit. And that's what I was taught. You know what I'm saying? That's why, even though I'm a little bit more seasoned and rooted in the truth, I still feel I'm in my embryo stages. You understand? Because it takes time to grow in this truth. It takes time to be rooted to the point where you can go to a brother that's reading for you and be like, "Get me the fig leaf," and he gonna go right to the precept. You know what I mean? I'm just starting to understand and comprehend that when Shaka will be like, "Go get me this scripture," and I get right to it, boom. Or I might know it off the top of my head. Or he'll tell me, go to your bedrock scripture. He know my go-to. You know what I'm saying? My go-to is in today's society, it's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 16. I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. You understand? Look, and I say that because I've dealt with some wicked ass women in my days. And that's why I know those women's scriptures pretty damn well. I ain't gonna say I know them flawlessly, but I know them pretty well. Pretty well. You understand? Let's see. And it said, which prophesy out of their own heart, meaning out of their mind, and prophesy thou against them. Meaning we have to counteract what they're doing, because what they're doing is being corrupted and then corrupting our people. Because they're making our people believe that it's okay for women to teach grown men. This is why we have structure and order, because in the book of 1 Corinthians 11:3, it says, as it was written, Christ is the head of all man, the head of the woman is the man, and the Most High God is the head over all. He's the head over Christ. You understand? That's the structure and order of things, because it's the Most High God is Christ, is man, and then is woman and child. And we can't lose face of structure and order, because by these sisters trying to prophesy and teach the congregation, that's an evil spirit upon them. You understand? That's a demon on them, and that demon transcends into an evil spirit. You know what I'm saying? And that's how easy that evil spirits can take us over and consume us, and we not looking at it from that point of view, and we get defensive, and we want to argue and dispute rather than take in what the hell somebody's trying to tell us. Because again, correction is love. Love is correction. If somebody don't tell you you effing up, don't do that. Then what good are they to you? If I can't tell you you slipping and you're pimping and slacking on your macking, then what good am I to you? Let's make that make sense. What good am I to you? If I can't tell you you messing up, that means I don't love you. And I'm going to let you fall in your face. Flat. Nah. And the thing is, we so smooth with it, right? That this is the part that that grinds my gears, right? We'll sit there and be like that to one another. We'll let your own brother fall flat on his face, but you'll sit here and see this cracker over here, and you'll be like, "Hey, be careful over there. It's such and such right there. Be careful. Watch your step. There's a hole in the ground right there. Be careful." But your brother walking the same way, and you don't say nothing, and you're gonna be sitting there looking like, this nigga ain't even paying attention. Watch you about to fall in that hole, and I'm gonna laugh at his ass when he do. That's how we are to one another, and it's disgusting. And that's an evil spirit. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 23. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, and he that have it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. Meaning, if you fully embody and embrace the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God and take it in your inward parts, your heart meaning your mind. Your heart is an organ that pumps blood. Let's be realistic here. When it says in the scriptures about your heart, your translation, your heart meaning your mind. That's why it tells you in scripture, in another scripture, that your mind is your worst enemy, because your mind will bring wicked imaginations. You understand? This is why that you ever hear that saying, you are what you eat, you are what you digest. Spiritually, if you digest anything outside these law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord God, spiritually, what do you think you're going to become? How do you think you're going to live your life? How do you think your mentality is going to be set if you're ingesting false doctrine? Let's say you're ingesting doctrine from the Quran, and then you go and read the book of Enoch, and then you go and read this book about Egyptology, and then you go and read this book about Farrakhan, and then you go and read this book about. We had a precept, we read about that in class earlier this week. Reading too much, you're poisoning your flesh by doing that. You're doing the same thing Eve did. She went by that goddamn tree when she had no business doing it, and Adam told her, don't go by that damn tree, and she went by that damn tree, and she effed around and found out too. Now all women is bitter. Now most women in today's society is bitter and pissed off. Don't blame us. Blame your predecessor. Blame Eve. You understand? She the one that disobeyed. Now y'all want to be disobedient children. I understand. Y'all got daddy issues. Y'all lack a father in your life. You understand? And the problem is, you don't just lack a father, you lack a spiritual father. That's why when you have a husband that's in the truth, that keeps the law, statutes, and commandments, you cleave to your husband, not to your mother and father once you have a husband. You cleave to your husband. He's to lord over you. You understand? Because he's going to be wise, like a father would be wise, taking care of his daughter. He's going to be, your husband is your protector, your provider. And I don't mean financial. I mean, he's your provider. When you jump up out your soul because you seen a spider run across the floor and it's little as hell, I got to get up and unalive it. If we're in the bed and you hear a strange noise, sound like somebody broke into the house, I'm the one that's going to go downstairs and go handle that. You understand? If let's see, like if we're in the streets and we're out on a date and someone is being disrespectful and tries to holler at you, knowing that they see you with me, it's my job to deal with that situation and handle it accordingly. You understand? Now, I'm not going to be a hothead and put myself in a position where I might have to defend her physically because I might have to put hands on this brother. You understand? And I don't want to hurt another brother. So I would use the strongest muscle in my body and work smart, not hard. You understand? I pray you understand. Let's see. Young man Hector said, Timothy 4:3, the scripture about what you're talking about with the itching ear. All right, I'm gonna get to it in a minute, young man Hector. Just bear with me 1 minute. Now it says, the fear of the Lord God tendeth to life, meaning you get everlasting life by fearing the Most High God and keeping his law, statutes, and commandments as he saw fit. And that shall abide satisfied. Like you will enjoy life. You will be satisfied with life by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. And it said, he shall not be visited with evil. If you're fully engrossed in the doctrine of the Most High God, right, in this Bible, and you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and still living your everyday life, but keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, he's not going to allow Satan to come and tempt you. He's not going to allow his child to come and tempt you because the Most High God is going to see with your actions that you love him. That's how he acknowledges you, by you keeping your law, statutes, and commandments. You know, I'll be trying not to argue with my mom or go back and forth with my mom, but I do try to give her scriptures that help her understand that sometimes what she do is not good biblically. Like, we'll go out to breakfast and I get on her all the time about this. I say, Mom, you know, pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster is unlawful. It's in the Bible. And if you want, we can go Old Testament or New Testament, because people like to argue about the Bible and say, oh, I read the New Testament. Well, there's references in the New Testament that'll tell you, go to the book of Leviticus, because the book of Leviticus is the dietary laws. You understand? And my mom will sit there and eat a bacon, egg, and cheese. She'll get a bacon, egg, and cheese and pray over it and think that just because you prayed over it, it's okay. It's like you slap the Most High in his face and say, ha, I'm going to eat this pork and you not going to say nothing about it. But then you wonder why you be riddled with pain, losing weight, but your legs are swollen bad. You get what I'm saying? Like, you wonder why the Most High do things to people. You can't sit there and mock him, just like people wearing that cross around their neck or doing the sign of the cross. You mocking Christ and any other brother that got put on a cross, whether right side up or upside down. You understand? You mock our King by doing that, and it's disrespectful. Don't do it. It's just that simple. It's the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. You know what? Get that brother a hand. And you know what, young man Hector? You're absolutely correct. Let me see if I don't already have that written down. Nope, I do not. So let me write that in my precept book, because you always give me a precept that's not in my book. That's why I rocks with you, Hector. Young man Hector. That's why I rocks with you. You be on fire with those precepts, brother. I appreciate you. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Back to this another head more. Bear with me, Israel. Okay, here we go. We're going to go to the book of John, chapter 10, verse 10, right? Again, you know, my topic was evil spirits, right? Because, you know, I asked a valid question to General Muhammad in his class at headquarters one day, and I said, Salakia, sir, when you're dealing with people in the world, right, and you shedding yourself for the world coming into the truth, is it possible for someone else's demon to latch onto you? He said, absolutely. Sometimes now, let me see if I can actually pull that, right? I'm going out on a limb here. Let me see if I can pull that. Close enough. Okay. So, has more precepts to add. Yeah. So, you know, General Muhammad said that, you know, demons can absolutely transfer from one person to another. Like, prime example, like, say you laying down with your wife, you wake up in the morning, you have a usual routine, somebody gets up and makes coffee or whatever, you know. Let's say for example, you woke up, you're making coffee for you and the missus, you know. Let's say she gets up a little later than usual. She wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. Say she had a nightmare or something, you know what I'm saying? So now she's grouchy, she groggy. Now she got that demon on her, you know what I'm saying? And that could transcend into an evil spirit, because while you sitting there trying to be kind and loving to her, you know, she could transfer that demon to you. You sit there, say good morning, and she grumping, and she, and you're like, well, damn, what's the matter with you? And then she starts going off on you just because you said that. And now y'all in an argument. She just let her demon jump right onto you, and you fell for a hook, line, and sinker. Instead of you take a step back and be like, yeah, you got a demon on you. All right, no sweat. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you get into those scriptures about casting out demons, because demons can jump on you. You know, in the story, there was a brother that the Most High cleansed his spirit, right? And the demon, the evil spirit, spoke to Christ. He pleaded with Christ. The spirit, the evil spirit said, please don't leave me to walk around aimlessly looking for a host, because a demon's job is to unalive you. He pled with Christ. He said, please cast me in, at least cast me into this pig here, so I could do my job and kill this pig. Just cast me into this pig. So the Most High cast him into the body of a pig, and he walked the pig right into the ocean and drowned it. Done deal. You understand? So spirits can act, and evil spirits can actually transfer from person to person. It's just that simple. The second you allow somebody to take you out of your comfort zone or out of your happy place, and now you pissed off for no apparent reason, you just brought a demon in with you. And you better pray he ain't bring 7 of his friends with him, because them niggas don't play fair. You understand? Now you pissed off. Now you done went from being pissed off to it's not even lunchtime. Now you drinking, and now you about to go get you a bag and roll up. You see how the chain reaction just trickles on down? And it's a vicious and repetitive cycle that we go through in life. That's why it's called pleasing your flesh. And this is why we have to fight. As Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have to learn to fight. But let me go to the book of John, chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. And it says, I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. Meaning, for the thief and the murderer, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God is trying to save them and spare them from doing those wicked acts, because that's not in our nature to do these things. They're in the heathen's nature to do that. That's why the white man was gifted with the sword. They the ones that go out there, hunt, eat raw meat and stuff like that, like animals. Why you think they itching to go back into their primitive nature and go back to living, making this world become World War III, just so they have an excuse to go live in the woods and eat squirrel and rabbit and be in their primitive nature with all the guns and all the white hoods? You understand? It's wicked. It's downright wicked. All right. Let me pull up this first one. I got a couple of articles I'm gonna bring out. I'm gonna hit it with some scriptures too. This is a wicked story right here. Wait till you see this one.
A Georgia mother intentionally killed her to toddlers by placing them in an oven and turning it on for 45 minutes. When the father, Jamil Penn, returned on October 18th without the children, he broke down when he learned from the mother, Lamora Williams, that she had put them in the oven. He rushed into the kitchen and called 911, and by the time he got 1-year-old Jakarta Penn and 2-year-old Kyant Penn out, they were already deceased. When police arrived, they found the deceased children outside the apartment and immediately arrested their mother. What's even more heartbreaking is that investigators have been unable to identify the children. Lamora told police she didn't know who killed her children. Then she blamed her cousin for the crime. Finally, she said her sister killed the children. She wasn't sure and gave false information. Lamora Williams, 24, was charged with 2 counts of murder, but in court, Lamora's sister claimed that Lamora had suffered from severe behavioral and emotional problems since she was a child, and that she had even tried to end her life. Her husband said she had mental problems and often left the children alone in the apartment, and he submitted a letter forgiving her. After an evaluation, it was confirmed that Lamora Williams was cognitively impaired. In the end, the judge sentenced her to 5 years in prison. Do you think that was a fair sentence?
That was Israel. See, this is why y'all got to follow the school page. I bring out content like this every single day on my show called Boots on the Ground. That's my podcast that I bring out, and I share clips on the school's Facebook, YouTube. We got TikTok and we got Instagram, and I share these disgusting, wicked, horrible stories every single day. You understand? Khan, young man, had to. That's the precept I was looking for with that one. What is that? Matthew 8. To 33. I was doing good up until this point. I ain't used my eyes yet all night. You notice that I've been doing good. I got to put my eyes on. They started to get a little blurry. But yeah, for that article, I'm going to use the book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 19. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter, should not a people seek unto their God, for the living to the dead? She's been having mental trouble since a child, and she never sought help. If you heard the clip, she never sought help. She never tried to, get cured of that demon that she had on her that plagued her throughout her life. And it struck as she decided to put her 2 young children in the oven. You understand? And unalive her children. When she snaps out of that psychosis and realize what she's done, she is going to go through a pain unimaginable, unfathomable. She's going to go through a pain that unexplainable. You understand? It's rough when you lose a child, but when you the one that unalived them, that's unforgivable for yourself. You understand? And all she could do is, Lord allow what she found in the Lord's statutes and commandments. You understand? Verse 20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. She didn't speak to the Lord's statutes and commandments, so there was no light in this sister. This sister been in the dark all her life, and she ended her children's lives behind it. This is sad. You understand? This is sad. Let's see. On my next clip, I don't know if this precept is going to fit for it. Let me see. Holy crowd, I was saying. God, that's a good precept, young man Hector. Let's see. Bear with me, Israel. I'm trying to get these loaded in the clip for you. All right, now in this next clip, for those that like or eating oatmeal, so sorry for you.
I started paying attention to the ingredients, and if you notice right here, you'll see natural flavor. When I learned what this is made out of in this, it blew my mind. Just check this out. Hold on a second.
And castoreum, typically called natural flavor, is taken from a beaver's anal gland. It's far cheaper to use castoreum, or beaver's butt, to flavor strawberry oatmeal than using actual strawberries. They don't want you to know what's in that natural flavor either. Just try to call the company and ask. They'll tell you it's proprietary. But there's nothing natural about the flavors they produce. So avoid products with natural flavors.
That's crazy, right? So listen, and the thing about the natural flavor too, man, there's been billions of dollars spent on natural flavors. It actually entices us to want to keep eating more. It's a chemical process they use to make natural flavor. So when I learned, it actually leads to weight gain. So when I learned that, I just switched it out, man. I go to the old-fashioned regular Quaker Oats, man, and I'll chop up some strawberries, some honey, or some maple syrup to make it better. And man, look, I lost 100 pounds. This was me in 2014. But I didn't still eating the foods that I like to eat. I like oatmeal. But when I made that switch, it helped me to lose weight, man. I lost.
Now that's a brother that was on a weight loss journey, correct? You know what I'm saying? However, what he just brought out about that oatmeal was utterly disgusting. How many of y'all got kids and y'all done fed y'all kids when y'all went food shopping? You bought them that Quaker oatmeal, the instant packs, the multi-flavored packs. Nobody never thought to check the ingredients in there, right? Just like when you started coming into the truth and you wanted to know what products have pork in it, or when it's time for the Passover, what products have leavening agents in it that you have to remove from your house for the week of the Passover and the week of unleavened bread. You understand? Anything that rises, you understand? That's leavening agents. And you'd be surprised what items have leavening agents in it. Now, for the items that have pork in it, anytime you read something and it says gelatin, unless it says beef gelatin, gelatin is pork. Gummy bears, Sour Patches, the original blue box of Jiffy cornbread, not the other flavors, because I've checked. The original Jiffy cornbread mix. The first two ingredients on that listing says lard and hydrogenated lard. You understand? It is a foul and wicked spirit that the oppressor puts on, passes on these evil things to us for us to ingest, for us to eat. All these products that these big name companies be making, somewhere along the line, they cut a corner and they put something foul in there and add and mix chemicals with it to make it taste good, and then they give it to us and we eat it. And then we wonder why we obese, and then we wonder why we diabetic, and then we wonder why we getting legs and arms and stuff amputated because of the garbage that they shovel in us. This is why you are what you eat. And they're trying to touch the organic stuff now. You understand? Same thing spiritually. You are what you eat. So if you ingest the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, you will ingest good things. You understand? You will ingest nutriment. You understand? These laws, statutes, and commandments is your can of Ensure, your can of nutriment. You get what I'm saying? This is your Greek yogurt. This is your spiritual salad. You understand? This is your fruit smoothie. Like this is what's healthy for you spiritually. Ingest this. Don't ingest female pastors or deaconess. Don't ingest the Muslim mosque. You understand? Don't digest stuff that will harm you. Yeah, it does, young man Hector. You got to look at the certain toothpaste that have leavening agents in it as well. You got to be mindful of that. And that's during the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Kind. Now, for this one, we go to the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 3. But the Lord is faithful, whom shall establish you and keep you from evil. Meaning, if you stray away from what these devils is putting out in this market, and you keep these law, statutes, and commandments, and I'm talking about down to the letter, to the point where you follow the book of Leviticus, right? And you study it inside and out, front to back, and you learn what's lawful, what's not lawful. You understand? You will know what herbs you can eat, what herbs you can use to brew as a tea for digestive health. You will learn what kind of fruits and berries you can eat and make a smoothie. You can learn what vegetables is healthy for you. You'll grow your own herbs. You'll grow your own vegetables. Because you ain't going to find it no fresher, no better from a supermarket. So why not just grow it yourself? Take the pits of every fruit and vegetable and plant it in the dirt. Get some topsoil and get some Miracle Grow and grow your own herbs. Grow your own vegetables. Grow your own fruit. You ain't got space, make space. You understand? It's healthier to grow things yourself. You understand? And it's even healthier for you to establish the law, statutes, and commandments of God. Because if you do, you won't run into evil. Now, this next clip I'm gonna show you is another example of evil in today's society. And this is right here in the hood of Newark, New Jersey. This ain't even in Jersey City, but I cover everything. I'm sharing a part of my show with you live in the class, right? Check this out.
Oh my God! It's supposed to be in the school.
Now, that was just a quick showing you of how these kids act out here. These children have no self-control. They have no self-discipline. They have no guidance. You understand? These kids have no guidance. And you know why they act like that and steal a van, and then they on the run from police, they crash it into a school building and take off running? Because they have no father. They have no father figure in the household. They have no father, and that's why these kids do the things that they do. You understand? And that's just them having I don't want to say an evil spirit, because they young. They don't know no better, because they lack the knowledge. In the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, it says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. For those that reject the knowledge, the Lord shall reject thee." Their mamas are single mothers trying to raise these little young King Vaughns in training. You understand? So she rejects the knowledge of the Most High God and thinks she knows every damn thing and try to raise these kids to the best of her ability. And that's what they do. You understand? And that's what they do. As a matter of fact, I got a precept for that. Got to backtrack a little bit. It's a lot. Bear with me. Yeah, I ain't believe I had to go that far back. Yep, here we go. Okay. Let's see. Proverbs 22:6. Bear with me, Israel. Yep. Now, this is why these kids is running around doing garbage like that. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Say, gotta watch out for the corner stores too. I order eggs and cheese on a roll, and it tasted like bacon because they place it. You know what? And you know what you gotta do, young man Hector? You gotta go the extra mile, because when me and my brother go to the bodega, we know Poppy be cooking pork on that grill. So we tell Poppy, before you make my sandwich, can you please clean that grill for me? I don't eat pork. I don't want to taste pork on my sandwich. Can you please clean that part of the grill? Please. You know what I'm saying? We ask humbly, and they do it every time. I got a couple of stores that's like that. So when they see me, they make sure they clean that grill for me before they fix my sandwich, because don't give me that pork. Please. Please don't. You understand? But yeah, it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Meaning, if you teach these kids from birth, teach them from the time they learn how to walk and start learning how to talk. If you teach them sound doctrine, if you teach them the law, statutes, and commandments, if you teach them structure and order by keeping a goddamn black man in a black house and stop putting them out for some goddamn government assistance, you're cheating your family. You think you're getting over, but you're cheating yourself and you're cheating your family. You understand? But if you teach these children from youth and you train them up from children, they will grow up with these morals and these core values. And you know what happens? They become upright and outstanding brothers when they grow up. And they find wives that's going to be upright and outstanding with them. And they're going to be submissive. And they're going to learn, and they're going to submit to their husband. And they're going to be great wives. You understand? And then they're going to have children. And then they're going to continue to raise the children up. This is why I say train up a child in the way he should go. Gear them and guide them in the way they're supposed to go. Don't have them out here wayward, blowing like a leaf in the wind. I pray y'all understand. Now I'm going to bring out this next clip. We moving across. I only got two more.
Majority of men that most women deal with do not. And you are accountable for that as well.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for Live at 11. I'm Nick Garcia. New tonight, Action News has obtained court documents detailing domestic violence allegations against Fresno native Xavier Worthy. The Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver was arrested earlier this month in Texas, but prosecutors chose not to pursue charges after speaking with witnesses.
A new life that took a dramatic turn just 4 months ago.
Petition is granted.
It was May 24th in a downtown Los Angeles courtroom. Brian Banks was exonerated for the alleged victim admitted never happened. Banks was a 16-year-old star middle linebacker with a full ride scholarship waiting for him at USC in 2002 when he was accused. He spent the next 5 years in prison and another 4 years as a registered sex offender with a tracking bracelet around his ankle. Then his alleged victim admitted never happened.
Her real name
is Rhoda Osbit. She claimed a man hit her with a brick because she wouldn't give him her number. She posted the video months ago and it went viral.
I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no.
She ended up stacking up more than $42,000 on a GoFundMe with the story. Now it's called a total scam.
Now, let me explain something to you, Israel. For that sister doing that and for Xavier Worthy being accused of a crime that he didn't commit, right? This is what happens when you're a young black athlete and you're getting drafted into the pros, like what everybody been saying to Travis Hunter about. Yeah, we understand you got a pretty young lady and she loves you and all this good stuff, but how convenient she loves you right as you start to get drafted to get this contract. You understand? And all the people were trying to tell you was to watch out, be careful, be aware, and beware. That's it. Just be aware and beware. Because these girls out here is thirst trapping these athletes, getting with them, marrying them, maybe have a baby with them, and then they leave them, take them to the court and the cleaners at the same damn time, and they clean them for millions. You understand? One athlete was smart, even though he a Hamite, but Israel Adesanya in the UFC, former middleweight champion, right? Israel Adesanya. He was smart. He made millions in the UFC. He still fights in the UFC, but when he was on top, he was making millions, right? He was wise. He put all his money in his mom's name. So this girl he dated for a year, right, thought she was on to something. Decided that she was going to break up with him after a year and thought she was going to take him to court and clean him out. But go to find out, he ain't got no money. Now she was in an uproar and goes on social media ranting and complaining and talking smack. Talking about, oh, I was with him for a year. I deserve some money. Really? You don't deserve squat. You ain't do nothing. You ain't did nothing. You ain't put no work in. You was just there. You probably ain't. And the crazy thing is they show clips of her at some of his fights, at some of the events. She ain't even watching them. She ain't supporting them. She ain't cheering them on. She ain't doing nothing. She on the phone. She doing this. Wicked. Wicked as creatures. Wicked as women. You understand? That's a wicked spirit. That's an evil spirit that's on these women that thirst trap these athletes that think they doing something. You understand? The same way Shannon Sharp got because he want to deal with these young bitches. That's his problem. That's where he messed up at. And then he want to deal with a young white woman. You ain't never hear what happened to Emmett Till, brother? And he ain't even do it. You ain't see what just happened to what's his name? Jonathan Majors? And he was trying to get away from the crazy bitch. You ain't see what happened to Jonathan Major? She grabbed his phone. He tried to grab his phone back. And she's fighting and kicking and punching on him. And he's trying to get away from her. He just wanted his phone. Get away from me, bitch. And he's in jail now. Now his contract with Marvel is messed up. Now his contract, his multi-movie contract and deal with Disney's done. Over the goddamn oppressor. Y'all stop dealing with these white women thinking you doing something, thinking you getting the cream of the crop. No. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is where it's at. Period. Period. I pray y'all understand. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 15. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into hell, for wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. I don't think y'all heard me. Let me read it again. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 15. Let death seize upon them. Let the Most High carry out these bitches' punishments. All these wicked bitches that's out here thirst trapping brothers and trying to get all of these young athletes, these football players, these basketball players. You know why these baseball players ain't get corrupted yet? Because it ain't enough niggas in there yet for them to corrupt it. Baseball and hockey ain't as famous as NBA and NFL. You understand? And I say that seriously, but for teacher purposes. So salak it for my language. But seriously, there's not enough color in those leagues for women to thirst trap hockey. They don't know it's millions in hockey. They don't know it's massive millions in baseball. They don't know. Brothers getting 130, $180 million contracts to pitch, throw a baseball for 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand. Let death seize upon them and let them go down quick into hell. And I don't mean hell under the ground where it's flames and a 10-foot demon with a pitchfork and horns and a tail. That's sitting down there waiting for you to torment you for all your days. No. Bring them down to hell, meaning on earth as it is in heaven. You get what I'm saying? Hell is a condition on earth. To bring them quickly down into hell. Let them feel the sting of their actions. You understand? For wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. You know what I'm saying? Let them be consumed by their own wickedness and let the Most High punish them for it. But the only way that's going to happen if these young brothers, these young athletes get into the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. That's how that works. And that's how that goes. Let's see. Yo. Now for this last video, check it out. It's an update in the Tory Lanez trial.
Rapper Tory Lanez, convicted of shooting performer Megan Thee Stallion after a party at the Hollywood Hills home of Kylie Jenner. Here's the story. They're at the party. After the party, they get into an argument. Lanez tells Megan Thee Stallion, dance, and shoots at her feet like a cowboy movie, hits her. Proof? Testimony of Megan Thee Stallion, her friend Kelsey Harris, and DNA evidence on the weapon that convinced jurors to convict. Pretty simple, right? Maybe not. Turns out that DNA, only a 0.01% chance that the DNA is from Lanez. He's always maintained his innocence. He was sentenced to 10 years. So this is really about the testimony. Lanez, so what happens? So he goes away, recently stabbed 14 times in prison. Many say it was a hit, okay? Because new evidence is about to come out. All right, a little conspiratorial, but he was definitely stabbed. Lanez supporters believe that the media doesn't care because Megan Thee Stallion is represented by Jay-Z's Rock Nation. Now, I could give a damn about Jay-Z or his company. This just wasn't a case on my radar until now. Why? Anna Paulina Luna. She is a representative from Florida. You see her here on a regular basis. She says she's got new evidence, says it wasn't him. And she joins us now. Representative APL, it's good to have you.
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be back on. And thanks for taking a look at this case.
No, listen, you tell me to take a look at it, I'll look at it. But why did you look at it? I mean, this isn't your jurisdiction. I don't know you to have any connection to any of these people.
Yeah, so as you know, we are on oversight and accountability. And so this case was actually initially flagged for me by Amber Rose. And the reason why I took particular interest in it is because of the fact that they actually had evidence that they presented to me in my office that actually disproved the conviction. So as you stated earlier, that 0.01% of DNA, they actually found 4 people's DNA on that firearm, none of which was Tory's. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine. And also, too, as you said, 0.01% chance. I mean, that evidence in itself should pretty much speak for itself. Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance. Megan?
You would be so proud of your boy. He has been in here and he has been praying. I got there to the hospital the first day, and typical Daystar, he was entertaining those officers. They were laughing. They were just, and he said, Dad, it only hurts to laugh. But something broke my heart yesterday. when towards the end of our visit, he said,
there is some fair things that make no damn sense. Why did Kelsey get immunity? Usually people who get immunity are guilty of something.
2022, singer, rapper.
And there it is right there, Israel. That's the proof in the pudding right there itself. This brother been locked up, what, a year, 2 years now over this thing? Megan Thee Stallion ain't had no proof of being shot. She was wearing heels that week, but she had got shot in the foot. She put a fake bandage on her foot, like when Trump allegedly got grazed in the ear. No scar, no grazing, no wound from the. It wasn't nothing wrong with her. Ain't it because it didn't happen. You understand? Like these women out here is wicked. But see, you know what? This all comes from, again, these women being the entertainers' faces, she being an entertainer herself, and these sisters out here whoring themselves in this industry. And all this ties into also Diddy's case, because all this spawns from stuff like that happening to Diddy and R. Kelly and Andre Harrell and so on and so forth. It's just a repetitive cycle of stuff that goes on in the entertainment industry, period. And it needs to stop immediately. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughters to cause her to be a whore. Meaning Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red. I was about to say Kylie Jenner. No, she's a heathen. Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, Ice Spice. Can't say Nicki anymore. But Cardi B. Y'all heifers, stop being whores. I had hopes for you, Cardi B. I seen you with Offset. Y'all got kids together. Like, come on. Now you with an athlete. Come on. It's one thing if he's making whores as sisters, but if he knew the law, statutes, and commandments, he would be keeping these women that he's laying with. And he would just have multiple wives, and you would just have to suck it up and deal with it. But he will also have to be a man and have that conversation with you and keep it a buck with you and teach you the truth. So you could be a righteous sister and submit. You understand? And not think because you got money, you got some authority over a man. Or if you got more than him, you think you got some authority over a man. No, it don't work like that. The money you make don't got nothing to do with the law, statutes, and commandments. The money you make has absolutely nothing to do with the structure and order of the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian household. Period. These sisters got to stop being whores. That's it. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. Basically like America, transformed into the new day Sodom and Gomorrah. You understand? Feminism got our sisters straying away from men. They out here fornicating, causing abominations, sleeping with other women, becoming part of the alphabet community. People like Dwayne Wade's son getting his rod chopped off and trying to transform into a goddamn girl to go deal with a white girl that tries to transform and be a man. That just don't add up. If you wanted to date the damn little white bitch, why didn't you just date her? It's just that damn simple. Just date the bitch. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Your father, he a Christian. He gonna allow it. He ain't gonna have no problem with it. No, you want to cut your little rod off, your little teenage rod off, and have 9-inch stiletto nails. You idiot. You freaking idiot. You ain't the only one. Magic Johnson's son, despicable, disgusting. Saucy Santana, another one. All y'all little fat cherubs that want to be transformers, y'all need to stop it. Stop falling into this goddamn agenda that you got to be wicked like Sodom and Gomorrah just because you want to get a little bit of fame and a couple dollars. There's other ways. Stop being so goddamn selfish and stop being so goddamn wicked. Grow the hell up. Find a better way. And that's all you got to do. If you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, find another way. That's it. It's just that simple. People make their lives complicated. This is why General Muhammad says, let me help you out. I'll tell you what. Let me do the thinking for you. So that way your life will be simple. Because if you knew better, you do better. And if you do better, you be better. But guess what? You're not. Didn't nobody even know Megan Thee Stallion had a whole husband coming into the music industry, sitting around sleeping with all these so-called rappers and letting everybody in the game hit to boost her fame. She sit there a lot in that interview saying Tory Lanez ain't smashed. He smashed. That's why she posted that lie talking about, oh, he shot her in the foot, got him locked up, trying to silence him. And he still went platinum off his NFTs in jail. You understand? Put a new album out in jail. You can't stop greatness, and you can't stop Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. It's like a snowball effect. Once we start rolling down the hill, just going to keep propelling and keep growing and keep growing and keep growing. But the sisters out here, y'all got to stop being wicked and stop being whores. Like, seriously, it doesn't pay. It really don't. Let's see. Let's see. Slocky Israel, bear me 1 second. I'm just getting a precept together. Probably do 1 or 2 more precepts and wrap this up. Revelations 12 and 9. Now, again, this is about the evil spirit. You got to understand, there's a spirit over this land. There's a very evil spirit over this country we call America, right? We as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians got to understand that these laws that they built on this land was built on our blood and the blood of 77.2 million Native Indian brothers and sisters that got unalived and sacrificed for the sake of control, for the sake of manipulation, for the sake of power, vain glory. And we had to lose millions of our brothers and sisters and children. That's why when the Lord opens the sky up and send these 200 million angels down, there's nothing that they going to do. There's nothing that they can do. And when he comes down, ooh wee, I just want to be part of the action. Because they say we're going to go back out into the wilderness to train, and we're going to run fast as horses. You understand? Ooh wee, I can't wait for the day. Here's the precept. It's the book of Revelations, chapter 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. You know, Satan walks back and forth, up and down, to and fro the earth, right? And that's his job, to deceive people, to make you think it is what it is, but it's not. His job is to fool you into not loving the Lord. His job is to deceive you so you can sin. Don't be idiots and get deceived. Because if you that weak, then damn. That means you're weak enough to eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, smoke, fornicate, lay with whores, or make whores of your sisters. You understand? Sick. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Satan was cast down upon the earth. Even though he was cast out upon the earth, he was still sent to do a goddamn job by his father. And he did his job diligently. That's why in the scriptures where he said, when in the book of Job, where the Most High called for his children and Satan came along too, he asked him, where you been? As a matter of fact, let me pull that real quick, right? It's the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came along also among them. Verse 7, and the Lord said unto Satan, whence cometh thou? Like, where you been? Like, I'm gonna paraphrase it. Nigga, where you been? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Verse 8, and the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered thy servant Job? Now, Job was a perfect brother. He kept the law, statutes, and commandments like Christ did, so he was perfect. So you can be perfect in this earth. All that saying, oh, I'm not perfect, is a lie. It's BS. It's malarkey. You can be perfect. You understand? But you have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and you have to be part of this body. One body, like-minded. You understand? Arm, leg, head, torso. That's the body. Functioning like one. You get what I'm saying? Hast thou considered thy servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. I'll read that to say this, right? One, you can be perfect. Two, Satan is a child of God like all the other angels that come from the heavens, right? So get that notion out of your head that Satan is this other type being that sits across from the Most High God, and it's like they playing chess with each other for world domination. No, it don't work like that. God made everything and everybody, even the angels, and Satan was one of his angels, and he fell from grace and got casted out of heaven, and he sent them on the earth to do a job. You're not doing your job up here? Take your ass down to earth. I got a job for you. You better do it. And he did his job, and he continues to do that job diligently. You understand? I might make a part 2 to this because this was definitely a Tawab class. You know what I'm saying? I'm a clip this for now, and y'all tune in tomorrow morning for the Sabbath service. I already know young man Hector, you're gonna be there, and if I get a chance, I'm gonna share it when I go live, so that way other people could chime in and check in the class as well. And for that, that's my time, Israel. Shalom.